Views and opinions expressed on this show belong solely to the hosts and their guests and do not reflect the views of any outside institutions unless explicitly stated. What's going on, Canna fam? Welcome back to Cannabis Cum Laude's A Closer Look at Community. My name is Justin Closser, and my goal is to help provide a platform for the members of the local cannabis community to share what they're working on. The hope is to allow them to build their brand and expose you listeners to a larger variety of products and services. In this effort, I believe we'll be able to build a network in which we can all support each other and grow as a community. The plan is to release an episode every Wednesday. In addition, on the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to hold a community hangout virtually in collaboration with Tommy Potseed that we're going to attempt to record as well. Also, we started a Discord server called Cum Laude Community Hangout. This is a great place for members of the community to chat, ask questions, interact with each other without the fear that Mark Zuckerberg's going to put you in timeout. So without further ado, elevate your state of mind and enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude's A Closer Look at Community. This week I have Jason Dorofy with me. He is the co-founder of Recovery All Ways, and he is also the director of education. Jason, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Justin. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I am so glad that you came to join me. I have been itching to talk to somebody from Recovery All Ways. I've been seeing it all over this one Facebook group that I'm in, but I also kind of have a little bit of a tie to Stephanie prior to that. So like I kind of saw the formation of it happening. So it's been it's been an exciting ride. It's been awesome to see it gain traction as quickly as it has and how well you guys have taken off. So I'm really excited to hear you talk about what's going on with that today. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself, Jason.
All right. So I guess just me as the person, I grew up in the Rochester area. I am an art teacher. I'm an artist. And then I do my work with Recovery All Ways. And so I've kind of blended my talents and my skills as a teacher to be able to help Recovery All Ways. I got involved with it because I'm 2.5 years sober, and I got involved with it probably in my first month or two. Thank you.
That's a long time.
Yeah, no, but it goes so fast. And,
yep.
But then also you look back and you're like, holy cow. But I got involved with this work with another organization. And we were actually out just looking for a friend that I had met in the program, and then the rest is history. And it's been a beautiful thing to, have my teaching and my service work and my nonprofit stuff kind of all blend together, because the school I teach at is also in the neighborhood that we do a lot of our work with Recovery All Ways. And so it just makes it really feel like it's the right place to be and the right things to do. So.
Absolutely. So Recovery All Ways, that to me, I know exactly what you're talking about because I know what the organization is, right? But that could really cover a broad spectrum of topics. Could you tell us what it's all about? What does Recovery All Ways stand for? Like, what is your guys' mission?
So I guess we like to think that, and our clients have told us this, is that we are a non-judgmental, compassionate group of people that in some way, shape, or form have lived, or through either ourselves or family members, or our volunteers have lost somebody. We approach every client, every person that we come in contact with that compassion and that non-judgment. And recovery always raw is because, addiction and homelessness and mental health a lot of times can leave us raw. And the concept of recovery always is that there's multiple pathways to recovery. If that's your journey, if it's harm reduction by, using clean implements, whatever your drug of choice is. If it's, moderation, if it's, abstinence, if it's, using other substance, if it's, Suboxone instead of heroin, or whatever that harm reduction can be. MAP programs, like all of those things, however will make your life and your quality of life better, we're there
Absolutely.
to support that. So
well, and it's also like
recovery always.
I kind of think of always as like all sources of things that need to be recovered from. I don't know a better way to phrase that, but that's what I got right now. And like, so it really is all encompassing. And I never really drew the parallel of like raw, like in a vulnerable sense, right? Like when I thought raw, I honestly, like, and this is probably just my upbringing, I thought of like wrestling, you know what I mean? Like Monday Night Wrestling. And I was thinking like badass, like raw, you know what I mean? Like we're out here, we're getting it. So, I mean, I feel like you got a lot of different connotations there, right? Too. So like, and none of which are bad. All of which are beautiful. It's harmonious. It works wonderfully together. Right. So in that effort, what is it that that we're doing with these clients per se? What's going on exactly? And I don't want you to like get personal or to disclose any information you're not supposed to or anything.
No,
obviously.
Yeah, I get you though. So the majority of our operations, like I guess the ones that people might see on social media through our posts or whatever, we have a Saturday operation, and we have a warehouse in the Rochester area. There's a sort of a chunk of the city that is one of the largest open air drug markets in the country. And we have a warehouse space that is right in the heart of that. And what we do out of there is we have a two-prong approach to our operations. We have our outreach operation, which is an operation that stays at the location. And out of there, we run hot food, bagged lunches, toiletry kits, clothing closet, and that's all people, especially in the winter, it's really powerful because people can come in. We have a warming station. They can dry their clothes. But it's a really cool setup, and people can come in, they can sit down, have a hot meal, take a bagged lunch to go, get some toiletries for the week, get some fresh clothes, some fresh underwear, whatever it may be. And Narcan too, the overdose reversal drug. But we also have a team that takes a lot of those same materials and they go out into the field. And I usually do that portion. We go out into the field with backpacks full of toiletries, Narcan, bagged lunches, and we go out and go to abandoned houses, go into fields where there's heavy use, bring all of those life-saving material, those life-saving things, because one of our missions as well is to offer these services to get people the harm reduction of getting those people one day closer so that they can, when they're ready, they feel unjudged, loved, cared for, provided for. So when and if they're ready to make that choice of recovery, we can give those things to them. So, but we also do, that's our Saturday operations. We also do speaking engagements. Like I've done presentations to St. John Fisher's Pharmacy School. I've done presentations at the city level probation and family center, like just trying to remove the stigma of addiction and use to help our cause and help the people of the city.
So this next question's a little bit controversial and not by any means my opinion whatsoever, but I'm sure it's something that you guys encounter a lot. And so I want to just go right ahead and dive right at it and bring it to the forefront.
Go for it.
What do you say to people when they say that you are enabling this behavior?
I would say that's your son. That's your daughter, your mother, your father, your whatever. Like I got involved with the majority of the people in our clientele are people with street drug addictions. And I label myself as a person in recovery. Alcohol was my drug of choice, but I got involved with this because there is that stigma of like this, well, that's a different ball game. And my answer is this: it's somebody's family. It's somebody's, no matter what that choice is. Like it wasn't a choice for me. It's not a choice for them, you know. And it's all walks of life. It's all, you know, backgrounds, socioeconomic, racial. Like it doesn't matter. Addiction does not discriminate. So like when people come at that, I try to, you know, put my teacher hat on and say like, you know, tell me more about what you're meaning by that. Because like I know my story, like my family, I was very grateful that some might have said they were enabling, but they were there long enough and put enough pressure on me so that they were still able to support me when I was ready to make that choice. And one of our harm reduction coordinator, he was Narcan 44 times, and then 44 was when he got clean and sober. And so, you know, the services we offer and all that, like that's just, it's getting that person one more day closer, because it's a human life. That's what just the like bare bones. That's a human life, and 100%. I'm not God. Like I don't get to choose who, you know.
I'm with you 100%, and I want to make it explicitly clear that's not my point of view. I just feel like that's probably not an infrequent point of view, right?
Not in the slightest.
So just to really nail it home, like I am also in recovery, if you will, and some of my listeners may know this. Those who have heard the very first episode, I kind of did a little bit of a drop of that, but like I used to dabble in just about everything there was. Alcohol was my main thing of choice. Closely followed it. That was very nice English there. Closely followed by cocaine. Those two were frequently hand in hand, and then anything else was just sure, let's give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
And that was many years of that stuff going on. And for me, the whole harm reduction approach was exactly the right choice. But also, okay, so that's honestly my whole journey into cannabis. Cannabis kind of like I was turned into the medical marijuana program for some other things, but then was subsequently able to just kind of, without even realizing it, everything slipped away. But let's talk about what substance abuse is, right? Substance abuse disorder. I know when I was talking to Stephanie, she said she would like to have that brought up at some point a little bit, but I can kind of speak to this even a little bit myself. Like it's not something you choose. Maybe it's not necessarily like a genetic disorder, but it can be a result of your surroundings, right? It could be something that you slowly slip into and don't even realize it's happened. And then once it's got its grip on you, it's hard to get out. And quite honestly, if I didn't have somebody who was consistently willing to be there and be there for me, I would probably not be where I am today. Like I'm fortunate enough that I had my fiance who was willing to stand by my side and pull me up. You know what I mean? And like, you have to fix this. And luckily it worked. I am where I am today, but that's not the case for everybody. And you guys do a wonderful job of being that person for them, right? And like, or at the very least trying to be, even if they won't let you fully, or even if they're not willing to fully embrace the idea at the moment. So
it's super powerful to be able to, like, I mean, doing this for now 2+ years, like, you get so connected to the people out there, and specifically in my role, like, I'm like I'm in charge of the team that goes out there. So, you know, a lot of times I'm the first one in the house, the abandoned house, or the first one that gets up to these people. And, you know, being able to sit down and talk to these people week after week after week, you know, you get to know them and feel their struggle, and, you know, my heart breaks for them. And, you know, but it's, you know, part of what we do is like being able to hand them at lunch and then them eat and just sit and talk with them for a while, like, shows them that they're worthy. Like, that's the biggest thing I think.
Somebody wants to take an interest in what they have to say.
Right.
For a few minutes.
You're a human being. Like, how many people in the society walk down the street and see them and they're like, just another junkie. Like, no, it's somebody's, that's a human.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree with you 1000%. I have been not on the street, but I have been looked at that way before. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Anyway, so what can people do right now if they want to get involved? Or is there any kind of events or anything that are coming up, or the Saturdays, right? Was that every Saturday you said?
Yeah. So operations happen every Saturday, 158 Hollenbeck Street in Rochester, New York. We meet at about 9:30. Teams leave at about 10 o'clock and we work till about 2 o'clock. And there's all different things. You don't have to go out and do stuff. You can stay back and serve food, help people get clothes. You can come out with us and do cleanup and whatever. But we do Narcan trainings on the regular. If you are a business, an organization, a church, a family, whatever, if you want Narcan, our goal is, you know, our mission is to get Narcan in the hand of everybody. You never know when you're going to need it. It doesn't just have to be somebody that's using illegal drugs. So we do Narcan trainings. We take them to people as far as hours away.
Can you speak to about like what Narcan is? Because like I'm relatively ignorant. I know it's used for like in an overdose situation, but other than that, I don't know. I don't have a clue.
So Narcan is the drug that's it is naloxone. And what it is it's a nasal spray. And I wish I had one around. It's a nasal spray. It looks like Flonase. It's a little single-use dose. What it does is it knocks the opioid off of the brain receptors. So it reverses an overdose, because in an overdose, basically somebody's dead. So they've stopped breathing, they're unresponsive, and you use Narcan and it knocks the opioids off the receptors long enough for that person to start breathing and living again. We've had to use it out on cleanup. We've saved people's lives. One of our other founders today had to use it she carries a kit in her car, and she found a guy on the bougie street of Rochester, New York. A guy was overdosing in the street and she saved his life. I didn't
mean to smile. I'm sorry.
But it's like, it's freaking amazing. Like, that's the stuff that, like, and that's, you know, we live that, and like it brings us such joy, and we want everybody else to be able to feel like they can have that power to save somebody's life. So we take Narcan trainings anywhere. Like, whoever wants to do one, we'll do it. And like other ways we can get involved, we're so close to getting our 24-hour treatment line up. So people can send us a message on Facebook or Instagram or email recoveryalways@gmail.com. We're almost getting that up. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. People can call and say, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And we connect them to treatment facilities. We're so close on getting that up and running.
How how many people do you have involved in your organization, like that
We
are
have
I guess not even regular? Go ahead.
we have a board of 16.
Oh, okay.
So we have 16 board members. And then operations, like on a weekly basis, we range anywhere from about 12 to 20 people that come out, 25 maybe.
Nice.
Which is a nice sweet spot. Like, and we have new faces and regulars, and people come in and out. But it's a small I would say medium-sized operation, but a big impact.
Well, the 16-person board was honestly bigger than I thought you were going to say. So that's better. When you were saying 24-hour call line, I was like, I was thinking there was like 3 or 4 or 5 of you that were like the core of it. I was like, man, that's going to be rough to maintain over 24-hour period. But if you have
we've done that before. We've done that. But I've at our old organization that we kind of grew from, we ran that, and it was a lot. But but being able to be there for somebody in their weakest moment and where they're reaching out, like that's a powerful thing. And like being able to see people that we've helped come back and then volunteer with us, like there's nothing in the world like that feeling of like, you saved my life. And it's like, powerful stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I could only imagine. I honestly don't think I've ever been in that situation to where I've been able to save somebody's life. So I certainly can't speak to what it feels like, but that's, I don't know. Sorry, you got me like thinking about it. I'm lost on a little train of thought there, trying to think of what that would feel like. And it's so
someone was there
for
someone was there for me to help. Someone reached their hand out to me. So I'm like so eager to help, and like
absolutely,
like it's what we got to do. We're human, like it's the human race. Like let's just spread some kindness, and like that's part of our mission too. Is like just because you're using drugs or you're homeless or this, or that doesn't mean you don't deserve like basic human rights. So
yeah, 100% basic human comforts and humanities. I sometimes though, like as an addict, and when I was an addict, and like I would do a lot of, I guess I would still classify myself as an addict, because if I touched it, I would probably be game over, right? But like I completely lost my train of thought with that second sentence there. I derailed myself. Anyway, moving forward. I would think that I wasn't worth it, right? Because like I would do not so nice things in order to be able to continue living the life that I was living. And so I was like, yeah, well, whatever crappy stuff comes my way, right? And like, I mean, it's okay to feel that way, but then like do something to change it, right? Or like try to do something to change how you're feeling. And if you're willing to do that, then even if you're not, there are people there that are willing to help and care and at least sit down and talk to you and bring you a bagged lunch. That's awesome.
And I think the powerful thing is the fact that the people that we help become our volunteers. And like, I think of our volunteers, Stephanie, one of the other co-founders, like she lived those streets, there's another guy, John, that we work with too. He's one of our security, like our volunteers have lived this life and know the people that we're also serving. So it's, living proof of like another life is possible.
Yeah.
You just have to, when you're ready, because not everyone's ready at the current moment, and that's okay, but it doesn't mean because they're not ready today, they don't get to eat.
It works twofold too, right? Because you can more easily relate to them because you've experienced, and you are also proof that there's a way out. but then it's also, I guess, threefold. It is more motivating for the volunteers because they've been there. They know how much it sucks and they know how awesome it is to get out. So it's like motivating to try and help other people. And that's why like I'm on this show, right? Cannabis saved my life. So I have literally like cannabis and my fiance Kelly, literally that combo, and like other support groups, but like those two were the main things that kept me in check. And I just want to spread the word to everybody about cannabis because I'm obviously not trying to share my fiance. You know what I mean? So
right.
Anyway, I like try to keep things light every now and then.
I love it. I love it.
So one thing I do really want to commend you on is that you were able to go 100% clean and stay 100% clean, zero substance. And you don't like hold anybody else to that standard either, right? Which is awesome. So you're super accepting, but yet you were able to, as somebody who knows what it's like to really enjoy substances, I'm personally really impressed by the fact that you were able to just kind of adios and cut everything out. So I just want to commend you here on as public of a forum as I can provide.
Well, thank you. And
absolutely.
Like you said, it's what worked for me. And you know, I have my different hats. Like I was saying earlier, like I have my personal recovery hat that I wear. And then but my belief system is in line with what R.A.W has of like, you know, harm reduction. And like, I don't think my recovery is any more pure, more important, more like whatever. It's everyone's own personal journeys. So like, same kudos to you, dude. Like, you know, heroin and stuff was never part of my story. So I can't fathom what that is like. So, you know, I think everyone's unique in their own way. And like, therefore each recovery is a different animal that deserves to be celebrated too. So
certainly anybody who is striving to be a better person, in my opinion, is doing it right. Like as long as you're trying, it doesn't matter how many times you fail, just get back up. Right. I actually just talked about this on our episode that we did in studio last night about the resiliency training that we used to do in the military and how it just teaches you like when you get knocked down, just get right back up again. Like that song, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba.
Thumping. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and the thing I think that's so important that people we encounter too is, and this is in my own recovery, I'm a first time into recovery. I luckily have not, like, knock on whatever, like I came in so broken that I was like, I don't think I have any more in me. But I think that, you know, we don't lose the experience if we do stumble. Like, you're not starting from zero, you're starting from like, that time doesn't go away. So I think that's an important thing to mention too. So
absolutely. Cool. Other than that, is there anything else that you would like to bring up before we come to a close?
Yeah, I mean, you can go follow us on social media. We are at recovery_all_ways on Instagram, R.A.W recovery all ways on Facebook. On there's all sorts of different ways that you can donate. We take monetary donations on PayPal. We have links on our website, recoveryallways.org. There's Amazon wish lists that are links on a lot of our posts on social media and Instagram and Facebook. So there's lots of ways, even if you're not in the Rochester area, that you can easily get involved with.
Yeah, and that wish list has stuff on it that's even as low as like $5. So if you really want to help out, you could just click on there. It'll go right to their address. It's really easy. Every little bit helps. And just so I don't sound like an a-hole, I was gonna have you plug your socials afterwards, just so you know. But
no,
okay. We're also gonna throw all of his socials in the show notes down there so that they're easy for you to follow and just be a click away. Hopefully, sometimes the Facebook ones get funky and I'll give you what you can copy and paste. But anyway, this has been an excellent conversation. Jason, has been a pleasure to meet you. We met like 5 minutes before the show, just so you guys know. So I don't know. I
But
feel
it's
like
been
I've
great.
been talking to somebody that I know for a year. So it's
I
been
love
a
it,
great
though.
conversation. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for last minute jumping on here and talking with me. It's been wonderful. I love the organization. I love the work you guys are doing. And I really hope that we can put this in front of some more people so that we can get some more traction going on the page with the Amazon donations and any other donations or anything that we can get to try and help these people who really are the people who need the most help in our community right now. Like, they really are. Like, they have nobody, people, like, other than Recovery Always. So please, like, come help Recovery Always. Anyway, do what they're it's such a selfless mission, people, that, like, just go and support them, right? They can use all the help they can get. There are only 16 people trying to serve a city of thousands. Like, please help, volunteer, donate, whatever you can do. Check the socials down in the show notes. And as always, elevate your state of mind. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cannabis Cum Laude's A Closer Look at Community. I've been your host, Justin Closser, and this week's guest has been Jason Dorofy, co-founder of R.A.W, Recovery Always. Head on over to their social medias, give them a like, give them a follow, and when you get done over there, head on over to ours and do the same. It costs absolutely nothing to show your support by pushing that button. If you do want to support the show financially, you can do so by heading on over to www.patreon.com/Cannabis Cum Laude. Unfortunately, you're not able to search us in the search bar due to the nature of our content, so therefore you have to type that in directly or just click the link in the show notes. Thank you so much, and don't forget to elevate your state of mind.